Three, two, one. Hey everybody, this is Victor. I'm here with Munya again for the second time. So I'm excited to share his story. We're going to be talking about how Munya went from making offers to his first 33K net profit flip. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing, Victor? Thank you for having me again.
I'm good. I'm good. Well, I'm glad we could share your story. What I like about your transformation is that like we have the first part of the interview, which is like you actually going out there making offers, and now the second part where it's like, okay, now we have a deal under contract. So that's really exciting stuff. But I mean, before we get into it, I want to just congratulate you. You just had your first child, so congrats.
Yes, thank you so much. She's about 1 week exactly today. So yeah, really excited. Yeah.
Has it been pretty hectic? Like you're trying to do this deal and you're also like being a father for the first time. Is it a lot on your plate, or how does that look?
Ironically, I found the deal the same day that she was born.
Oh, that's right.
So yeah, I actually found the deal the same day that she was born in the actual hospital room. So I call her my lucky baby. So since I have that and I'm just kind of starting with one deal at a time. So because I have this going on right now, it's freed up a little bit of space, a little bit of time for me to kind of also handle being a new dad. So yeah, I'm only starting with one flip at a time. So I'm not actively searching as hard as I was in the beginning. So it's given me a little extra time to just kind of start being a daddy for the first time. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got plenty on your plate just from that. You know, it's a full-time job in and of itself. You have the other job, and now you got flip going. So you got plenty on your plate. So I'd love to talk about this deal. Before that, I'd love for you to like just catch us up. Like we spoke a couple months ago, and you're out there making offers. What happened since then? What was your like experience since then? Was it like a rocky road? Was it a straight line where you knew you'd get a deal? Or I'd love to hear like what's happened since we last spoke.
Okay, so last time I spoke, I had made about 10 offers, 10 calls, and I wasn't getting anything. But I started looking at it from the standpoint of trying to spread my net wide, cast my net wider. So I needed more eyes looking for me. So instead of trying to do everything myself, I started networking and talking to more people. I joined a lot more of these online Facebook groups and started talking to more wholesalers. I even started reaching out to realtors, getting a lot of referrals. And so I started using those eyes. And instead of looking for everything myself, I had extra eyes looking around, sending me stuff as well. So it became a lot easier to get more stuff coming in. And coincidentally, I came close once or twice, some stuff that was sent to me, but narrowly missed out. But in the end, I ended up finding this one on my own in the hotel room. So I think the thing I started doing differently was instead of trying to do it myself, I started using resources around me. So the wholesalers, realtors, and so forth.
I think that's really smart. I'm seeing that more and more myself. Like you just can't do it yourself. Like there's no way you can handle everything. Like, it makes sense. And even your skill set, like you might be really good at this, but you need, everything, the whole spectrum to be successful with this stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So creating that team of people around me working with me has definitely made it a lot easier. So we cover more ground, more options, and I think that's how I'm going to get more deals.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, well, you'll see once you get your first one. Your first one's definitely your hardest. So as soon as you get your first one down to A to Z, you're like, okay, well, that wasn't too bad. Let's do another. Let's do another. Let's do another.
Yeah.
But I like what you said, like for your first one, just do the first one. Don't worry about doing 2, 3, 10 at a time. Just take your first one. You're going to learn a ton. So for this one, so how did you source this deal? How did you find this one?
I actually found this one on Market. So what I did is I set up notifications as part of my trying to expand my network, my nets, cast it wide. I went ahead and set notifications on a lot of these websites, Zillow, Redfin, you set your parameters for what you're looking for, your price range, and I have it set to receive instant notifications. So as soon as it went on market, I got the notification, and immediately I went ahead and reached out. It was late at night, but I did it anyway. And lucky for me, the guy responded. So that's how I ended up finding that one. It was an on-market property that I got an instant notification on, and I jumped on it immediately.
I like because last time we spoke on like the speed, especially in today's market, if you're late a day or even a week, like if the deal's gone. So like that's really smart with the instant notification. So you got it ASAP, took a look at the property, and then, I mean, are you comfortable sharing some of the numbers on the property, like what we're going to buy it for, repairs? Are you comfortable sharing that sort of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. We got the property. It was listed for about 67,000. We got it down to about 64,000. And really, it's just a cosmetic flip. Most of the major mechanicals are in good condition. So we think that about 20,000 rehab costs is what should cover everything to get it back to top market. And the numbers actually look pretty good. I think we can get it for about 150,000. So those numbers look good. We should be able to net about 35,000 after all bills and fees are paid. So
exactly,
that's what we're looking to make out of this.
Okay, cool. Pretty good deal for your first one, especially. I mean, can't be mad at those numbers.
No. And because so little repairs are needed, I think we're going to be able to get that done literally in 4 weeks at the most. So
awesome. Sounds
it should be on market fairly soon, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, so we got it under contract. So to be clear, like it's still under contract, still has to close. We still have to renovate it. So this is all like projected stuff. So I just want to make sure everyone's aware of that, just so we're not misconstruing. But yeah, so it still looks like a good deal. You know, fingers crossed for everything. What are some of your thoughts going through your mind as you're going through this flip? Like you're under contract for the first time. Do you have like positive thoughts? And what are some of those? Do you have negative thoughts and fears? And what are some of those? I'd be curious, like what's going through your head.
I think as a new investor, you get a little nervous about everything. Prior to finding this deal, I think I was starting to get a little frustrated. I was calling and calling and calling. I wasn't getting anything. My offers weren't being accepted. A couple of times, something's in the pipeline and then it falls out. I just get outbid. So I started prematurely trying to look at paid options. And then this happened to come along. So I found this for free. So I think that's something that was starting to go through my mind, a little bit of nervousness, being impatient. I have a baby on the way. So you start to think like, I need to have something happen, and I need to have something happen now, especially with the child coming. So, you know, you're nervous about it at first, but once you get the deal, once you get it under contract, you're excited, you start to anticipate. And I think things start just kind of falling into place, you know. So this I expect to be a learning experience. I don't expect it to specifically be easy because it's my first time. So I plan on learning a lot. And I know that after this one, everything afterwards should start to be easier. So I look forward to it. I welcome the challenge. And I just want to learn the business and get it going.
I think that's really good. And people sometimes forget about that nervousness, like especially with me, with where I'm at, like sometimes you forget like your first one, how you were nervous. You look back and it's easy, like, yeah, bought it for this much, put in this much, sold for this much, but you forget like the day-to-day, like how it changed and how things happened, where you weren't always confident, like you didn't always know that it would sell. You didn't know this, didn't know that. And part of that nervousness is totally natural. And just like the other thing you're saying, as you're doing these deals, it is a numbers game, and you don't know which one's going to hit. Like you might be making, you know, an offer a day, and maybe number 13 hits, or number 17 hits, or maybe for some people it's number 2 that hits, and you just don't know. And it just takes a lot of faith to continue through the process and be like, well, it's going to happen eventually.
Absolutely, it's all a numbers game. And you know, like you said before, you can call 80 people and it only takes one.
Mhm.
And that one that you get is going to just make it worth all the time that you took calling the other 80. So I didn't have to get all the way to 80, lucky for me, but I was willing to go that far if needed be to be able to get where I am now with this first deal. So it will be worth it. It can be a little frustrating. You just got to hang in there and you just got to keep pushing forward and it will happen.
That's really good advice. Okay. Well, any other thoughts or any other things on your mind with regards to this deal or something like you wanted to share or any sort of insight?
I think having a mentor is very helpful. I know a lot of people talk about not wanting to pay for a mentor, and I can understand why, because everybody's selling a program and they promise you that you're going to make all kinds of money. But when you have someone that you are in constant communication with and you partner together and they walk you through the process, it makes everything so much more easier. You don't get as nervous and you're learning along every step of the way. So I think that has been an advantage for me. Even though I was nervous about it, I still feel very good about it. So again, just don't give up. You just have to keep going and don't stop looking. I look day and night, just get those notifications set up. And that really helped me because having 10, 20 eyes and notifications is a lot better than just my 2 eyes trying to look for a deal. So
That's a really good point. Well, you're
I would
looking, I mean,
definitely say,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
oh, I was just gonna say, I would definitely say, just get all that set up,
Uh,
and it will make your search easier. Yeah.
mhm. I think that's good advice. And I was just going to say, I interrupted you, so sorry about that. But I was going to say
Oh,
that
that's
like
okay.
you were looking in the hotel room, like right before you're going to have your daughter, like so, like you were dedicated, you were motivated to
Yeah, in
get
the hospital room. Yeah.
the hospital room
Yeah, in the
looking
hospital
at
room.
deals.
Yep.
Hey, I want to buy your house. Yeah, that's but you got it. I mean, we got it under contract, so that's awesome. Okay. On that note, with regards to mentors, like, would you recommend others work with me as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. As I mentioned before, having you on this deal with me and your advice, your teaching, your training, the material you've provided, and especially how easily accessible you are, like phone call, text, email. There's been so much open communication along every step of the way. It's almost like, you take a huge part of the nervousness off of me. And I think that anybody who's nervous or not sure where to begin,
Hmm.
this is the direction you need to go. You need to have a good mentor, someone who's easily accessible, someone who's not trying to charge you an arm and a leg. And, I would definitely recommend Victor for that mentorship, for that guidance, even as just a friend. It's been amazing, and I'm learning so much every single day. And I just love how open the communication has been. So I don't feel lost at all because of that.
No, that's good to hear. And I appreciate it. Appreciate the kind words, and I'm glad to hear that you don't feel lost. Like that's a big thing with beginners. Like, what do I do? How do I do? How do I start? They don't know. They're just lost and paralyzed. Um,
Yeah.
what was I going to say? Oh yeah, why should someone listening take action now?
Well, I believe there's never a better time to start than now.
Mhm.
And I always look at it as things are never going to line up perfectly for you to begin. And you don't have to start with a huge leap. You don't have to start with a huge win. Just get to first base, just start somewhere small. And there's a lot of ways to do that, even if it's for free. I started by simply joining a lot of these real estate investor groups and asking questions. And you build networks, you build relationships with people, and you will find good people who are willing to help you, guide you, and just show you the path to success. So, especially with the way the real estate market is right now, it's a great time to get in and just find the right team, the right people around you, and you will be successful.
I think that's really good advice. Well, again, I appreciate you taking the time to chat. This has been hopefully insightful for everyone listening as well, watching. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you just came from the hospital as well. You had some checkups for
Yeah.
baby there. So I caught you right when you got got
Yep.
back. So, but I appreciate it. And then any final thoughts, any final things on your mind about anything?
Um, I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm already planning for the next one.
Nice.
It's exciting. Like I said, I embrace the challenge. I look forward to learning even more from you and from everybody else in the group. And anybody who wants to know my journey, feel free to reach out in our group. I'm more than happy to share experiences and everything that I'm currently going through as a new investor myself. So let's just keep it all open and let's just keep the information flowing and let's all be successful.
I'm with you there. Sounds good. Well, appreciate it. Thanks so much, Munya. Thanks for taking the time. And everyone, we'll talk soon.
Thank you again, Victor.
We'll see ya.